Thank you, Mr. Swalwell, and thank you, Mr. Speaker. I grew up in a small town in Washington State that I now have the opportunity and the honor of representing. My folks were school teachers. My father actually this year is in his 50th year as a teacher in the classroom. And the reality is I couldn't have gone to college if it hadn't been for the support of my community and the assistance of financial aid. I got grants and I got loans that made the dream of college a reality. And I had a community that had my back, that literally passed the hat by providing me with scholarships to help me fulfill my own dreams of a college education. I believe that education is the door to opportunity. And for a lot of families, including mine, financial aid is the key to that door. But the reality is, for too many families today, that door is locked. We've got work to do. In 2013, Democrats and Republicans came together to pass legislation to protect student borrowers so that they can obtain low interest rates. But our work isn't done. We need to continue to have a commitment to quality and affordable education. That's why I'm proud to be a co-sponsor of a bill that would allow those with outstanding student loan debt to be able to refinance at the same low rate as new borrowers. 2.5 centuries ago, Benjamin Franklin wrote, "An investment in knowledge pays the greatest interest." I think that was true when he wrote it, and I think it remains true today. We know this. Not every student's going to go to college, but we know that college is a door opener. We know that. We know that America's competitiveness depends on our ability to have a good, skilled, qualified workforce, to have quality educational opportunities for our workforce. We know that as educational attainment rises, so do wages, and so does employment levels. We know that it is wiser to invest in education on the front end than it is to pay for prisons and unemployment on the back end. And that, to a large degree, is a decision that we make as a country and as a society. But that only works if we provide opportunities for students, if we ensure that they don't drown in debt. In our nation, student loan debt now surpasses credit card debt. We need to make sure that when young people graduate college, they have an opportunity to join the workforce, to start a business, or to teach the next generation, not simply to be bogged down with debt. One of the coolest parts of this job is the opportunity to get to meet with young people, to get to meet with college students and high school students, people who have a long runway ahead of them. And, I think about what I want for those students. I think about what I want for my own kids. I want them to be able to look at the future not with fear of debt and fear of astronomical financial obligations, but with hope for their future. I know that the college education that I was afforded and the financial aid that I received that paid for that college opportunity enabled me to live a lifetime that was filled with hope. And so we've got work to do. And I, for one, am committed to working with the good gentleman from California and others in this Congress, hopefully from both sides of the aisle, to address this opportunity and make sure that all young people, and frankly, all who want to pursue educational opportunity, see that door open to them.
And if the gentleman from Washington will yield for a few questions. I know there are a number of colleges in your district or around your district, and when you talk to young people today and they're thinking about going to college, how much are you hearing that the potential of debt is weighing on that decision?
I appreciate the question. It is the main concern that we hear. I was in a high school classroom just this last month and heard concerns from students who said, I want to go to college. I want to pursue that opportunity, but I'm fearful that I won't be able to afford it. And we've seen in my state and in states all throughout this country that as states face difficult budget times, two things happen. One, state support for our educational institutions got cut, and tuition rose. And oftentimes, financial aid, either from the institutions or from other sources, didn't keep up with those increases in tuition. So young people are concerned about that. They recognize that further education is going to be really important for their chances of getting a good job. Again, not every job requires higher education, but as we look at those fastest growing jobs, in our economy, more and more of those jobs require at least some post-secondary education.
And is it just young people that are concerned about it, or what do you hear from their parents as far as what the debt means if they've got a child who's just graduated college and is out there in the job market? Are you hearing from the parents as well?
Certainly a huge concern. Nearly every town hall meeting I have, concerns around student loan debt and around access to affordable quality education comes up. But even outside of parents, there are folks in my community who have unfortunately lost their jobs and want to go back to school. I was at Olympic College in my district in Bremerton, Washington, and their foundation had a luncheon that was to support students and their ability to pay for college. And we heard from one of the students who was a more mature student who had started her college career either sleeping in her car or sleeping in the student center. And that, for too many people, is a reality these days. We need to make sure that education is affordable, that education is quality, and that key that financial aid represents to that door of opportunity is available for everybody.
Great. I thank the gentleman from Washington, and I look forward to seeing your good work across Washington and in this Congress to address this moral crisis of our generation.
Thank you.